Welcome, welcome. We are live. We are live. This is the second show of the day. Welcome to the CoinRock Show. We have a very special guest today. Earlier today, we spoke to my business partner, Justin, Default Trades, who is an ex black hat hacker who went to federal prison in the US and for hacking senior CIA officials. He was also a black hat hacker for WikiLeaks, and that was a very fun show to record. He's also my business partner at Jeetbot. And right now we have the second show of the day here. We're going to be joined by a friend of mine who is an angel investor and entrepreneur builder too. Very cool story. We met about a year ago, and I just sent him the link. So we'll wait for a few moments here. And when he's on, we'll get him going. It'll be a good one too. Let me just push the links out here. Tick, tick, tick. All right. Let's wait for a few moments. Share this in different groups. If you're on early, let's push this out to the world. We are just gonna push this on my Twitter too. The team is telling me that audio is good. Type in 1 if you can hear and see me. Audio should be good. Video should be good too. Share this in different groups. And all right, there you go. All right, so we should be all good. We should be all good. All right, I can see that Kosuke is joining. So it's going to be a fun one. Let's give it a few more moments here. All right. We should be good to go. Welcome, welcome for those who are just joining. We'll be on in a few moments here. And all right. I think we are good. Okay, Kosuke, give me a thumbs up if you're good on your end, audio, video, and we'll add you to the stage here. Should be good to go. I can see you on, I can see you backstage here. Let me know when you're ready, or shoot me a DM and we'll get you on. I'll add you to the stage. I can see DMs. I can see, okay. Let me know when you're ready and I will add you. Good. So in the meantime, yeah, we had a show about 8 hours ago with Default Trades Justin, who is so Justin Liverman is his full name. I can see that Kosuke is good to go, so we'll add him. This is going to be a fun one, just because Kosuke is very young. Let's add, and he brings a very different perspective to the world of building and investing, and you should be good to go. There you go. All right. I can see
Can
your.
you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay.
Type in yes. Type in yes, chat, if you type in number 1 if you can hear us, but should be good to go. All right, good. How's it going?
All good, and you?
Good, good. So quick backstory here about how we met. So we actually were on the way to a Bybit event in Dubai, and this was just about a year ago, actually. And
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
it is a long time ago in crypto. It feels like 10 years ago. It's crazy. And so we started talking, very cool vibes, connected very quickly, and then we stayed in touch, went to a few more events, and then when CoinRock did when we did our event at Bybit, he came over too. He also met Lucas. We had Lucas, we had Aaron, and we hung out. And then we'll have coffee every now and then in Dubai. Kosuke is very well connected on the, let's say, the side that you don't see in crypto. So on the angel investment side, VC side, he is himself an investor. So I have a lot of a lot of the stuff that we'll talk about and cover. Some things I know and some questions I put together that I don't know. So this is going to be the first time for me to dive in more into what he does and his backstory. The cool thing with Kosuke is he's 24 years old. He's very young, and I say that with a lot of respect. It just I want everyone to. One of the things that I want everyone to understand is you don't need to wait until you're 50 years old to start either investing or building things. And so it's always good to have a very different perspective in business and life. And as an entrepreneur and investor, it's important to be surrounded by people who know more than you in who are older than you, but also who are younger than you. And so for those who may be older and you think that it's too late to get going, too late to get started, or for those of you who are younger and who think that you're too young to start, that Kosuke is a good example of someone who also started from scratch, pretty much building businesses in Web 2 and Web 3, because again, we met around crypto. So welcome to the show, and it's
Thank you
going
for
to be
having me.
yeah. So the first question I would say I would ask is more of a conversational one, in the sense that what got you started in the world of investing at a young age? What was your idea, or what got you going?
So the first time I started investing was around in 2020. So before that, I actually started my first business, which was a media company,
Yep.
and I was running that one in Japan. And I had my first exit within 1 year after I started that business. So once I did that, like I made some amount of money, and at that time I was seeing Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was pretty growing at that time. So I first in the first place I started investing in crypto through exchanges, buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also I started like playing some blockchain game, Axie Infinity and more.
Yep.
So that was the first time I started investing. And at that time, like I wasn't investing in as the angel investor. So pretty much through the exchange. And yeah, once I did that, I I got really interested in the crypto world and started my first project, which is blockchain gaming,
Yep.
football game actually. Then we list it on the exchange and so on. So then I personally made some networks with bunch of builders
Yep.
and made some friends there. And the first time that I invested as an angel investor is actually one of my friends asked me to invest in their projects as a friend. So it
Yep.
wasn't like I was trying to be the angel investor in the first place, but started to help out my friend.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the first time like I
Nice.
started investing. Yeah.
So technically you're Web 2, right? And then got into
Yeah.
Web3 quickly after that. What was the
Yes.
process of starting the Web2 company? So that started in what, 2019 or during COVID or right before?
2019 during COVID.
Yeah. And then you sold that, exited within 12 months.
Yes. Yes.
Very cool. What made you want to exit within a year?
I didn't actually have any exact reason, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much like,
Was the offer good?
yeah, the offer was not bad. Well, it turned out to be bad at the end, but
Okay.
at the time, like I thought it was a good deal.
Yeah. Do you
And
want to, can you talk about that a bit?
uh so like we do have like PR to uh value the valuation of
The
the
business.
company, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And the PR was one, so it wasn't like two or three or 10.
Yeah.
And that might be because of the media, but after I sold my company, I started working as the merger and acquisition advisor for a company in Japan. And at what through that experience, I found out the average PR for the media company was around 3. So
Yeah.
it was quite lower than the average.
Yeah.
But yeah, still like at the age of 20, so I didn't have much money at that time,
Yep.
and I didn't have any experience in selling the company or
Yep.
my business. And yeah, it was like I was super curious of like how that whole process works because I've never experienced it. And the buyer, the one who bought my business was actually the CEO of the company that I worked as the internship. So
Yep.
because of the relationship and everything, yeah, I thought, yeah, this was the right time to uh, sell my business. And another reason is just I got a little bored of running
Yep.
the media business. Yeah, well, maybe
You know,
that's the biggest one.
yeah, no, I get it. I mean, so you're an entrepreneur, right? You're a pure entrepreneur. You have a lot of ideas and you get bored easily too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which might
Classic.
not be good.
That's the problem that we have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Um, I mean, look, starting your first business, was that your first business, your first real serious business?
Yeah, that was my
Nice.
first real serious business.
Yeah, as a first time, you know, project turned into a business and then exiting, even if you exit at a much lower multiple than you would exit if you knew what you know today, a win is a win. I mean, it's a big win, right? So you get a nice, you get the experience first of all, and then you get paid for that
Yeah.
on, over time. Plus you get your exit money. So as frustrating as it is when you discover the truth of the multiples, it's a compliment. It's a compliment. I think it's a great experience. And the first few businesses, you were successful on the first go. It's rare for a lot of entrepreneurs to get a success on the very first try, and so that in itself is very encouraging. And curious to know, how many people did you have in the company before? So at the point of sale.
Actually, we didn't have any employee
Yep.
for that business, so it was just me uh, and bunch of like
Was it
freelancers.
freelancers?
Yeah,
Yep.
who can design, who can create video, who can
Yep.
write the article. And I was like creating some manuals there and
Nice.
choosing the topic and niche that we should target. Then yeah, directed them and yeah, they were creating the article, videos and so on.
Very cool. So 19 years old, starting a business in media, exiting within 12 months in Japan. For those who don't know, maybe I mentioned it in the intro, but Kosuke is Japanese. and then we met in Dubai. So all this happened in Japan while he was barely 20 years old, which is awesome. You know, the first business, if you get anything right in your first business, which you did, clearly you got many things right. Even if you think the valuation was low, it's a big win because it just sets you up to do other things, which of course leads to investing. So how did you celebrate the exit, by the way? Did you celebrate the exit?
Yeah, just a little. Went to club and had drink with my friends and my
Nice.
previous boss. Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. How long after the exit did you start actually investing, and why did you start investing? Why crypto, basically? Because that's you have a bit of the same story as me, Web 2 and then Web 3. Of course, I started in the dinosaur era, but
Yeah, yeah.
why go to Web 3?
Why did I go to Web3? That's a good question. And uh, pretty much at the time, really like Web3 was booming in Japan.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Astar Network, which is I would say the biggest blockchain in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was selected for the Forbes top 30 entrepreneur at that
Yep.
moment.
I
And
can see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Astar Network,
everywhere,
right?
yeah, Astar
Yeah.
Network.
Yep.
So he's building the Sonium chain right now, the
I can.
one
Okay. The
backed by
collective
Sonium.
force
Yeah,
driving Web 3, Astar Network, Sinium. Okay. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Got
So yeah, so everywhere I go or every like dinners with the entrepreneurs, everyone was talking about Web3 and blockchain at the time.
it. Yep. Yep.
Um, and the founder of Astar Network, Sota, is actually we went to the same university, but he
Nice.
graduated like yeah 3 years before
Yep.
I entered university. But yeah, that that that's like what got me interested in the blockchain. And then I started looking up like what blockchain does really, and the world of like how decentralized uh network can be.
Yep.
And I really loved it. And because like I traveled a lot at the time, and I even went to high school in Canada. And so like it's pretty tough to like go abroad without taking bunch of steps. And it's
Yep.
pretty hard to transfer money to the ones in different countries. We need to
Yep.
use Rio like in Dubai and Stripe or whatever the services. But
Yep.
still, for some countries, like they cannot even transfer money.
Yep.
But crypto at the time, it is the breakthrough to it. So, well, for me, like what intrigued me personally is how it actually connect uh, people uh,
Mm-hmm.
over the world, all over the world. Because right now, like we're connected on the social media, but
Yep.
we were not like directly connected on the financial side.
Yep.
But
Yep.
crypto made it possible.
Yep.
So that was like pretty astonishing for me. And yeah, started digging deeply into crypto. Then yeah, invested in Bitcoin and lost tons of money there uh,
Yep.
because of the crash at the time.
Yep.
And
With the COVID crash?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I was
And
in
I was
DC. I
like,
was in Washington
okay.
DC when Bitcoin crashed, and I was like, this is either the end of everything. And I remember seeing what's his name? VC, VC. Actually, not even a VC. He's a hedge fund guy.
Okay.
Bill Ackman, of course, with that infamous. I don't know if did you see the "Hell is Coming" speech?
No.
So he was this is March 27, 2020. He is big hedge fund guy in New York, and he goes on TV and saying, "Hey, it's basically the end of the world." Literally,
Mhm.
his tagline was "Hell is coming," and of course had a massive short position and made like $2 billion in the hours
Wow.
following that TV interview on Bloomberg or MSNBC. So it's a good reminder for everyone here not to fully believe everything you see on mainstream TV, because most of the time hedge fund managers are talking their book up or down, and in this case he made over $2 billion with puts and a very very short like big shorts basically. But yeah, that was around the time that the
Yeah.
that Bitcoin crashed.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, when people are saying the market is bullish, just sell. And when people are saying the market is so bad, like it's a time to buy coins.
Yeah. What's the how are the vibes in Japan when it comes to crypto specifically?
Still we're working on the regulation. The tax there is pretty high, like 50%, around 50%. So it's hard
Is
to
Yeah, on
yes,
gains or
on gains, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and it's so hard to, run, Web3 business in
yeah,
Japan. So a
yeah,
lot of builders are moving to Dubai or other countries to
yeah,
run, Web3 businesses. And but like the government is knowing that problem right now.
yeah.
Uh, and they're trying to change the regulation. So it's moving forward differently, but very slowly compared to
There's
other
there's definitely
countries.
been some bullish headlines from Japan in general. Are they looking to build? Is it a priority for them to build like an attractive regulatory and tax framework for entrepreneurs, or is it just not really? Because I know Japan has very strong um, operates very differently than the West in terms of corporations, and
Hmm.
they do abide by you know more rigid and strict frameworks in general for business, right? Especially for
Yeah.
Western businesses coming in. How's the view on, is it something that they want to change, or is it just like a side quest for them?
Uh, I would say they're saying like they're willing to change,
Yep,
but it's very much a side quest, like based
yep,
on what they've done so far.
yep, yep. Okay, yeah. So coming back to like your story about, so you started investing in crypto in general. What made you want to start actually doing more angel investing? Because that's what you've been doing a lot of, and also building actually in, whether
Yeah.
it's on the VC side, angel side, but actually stepping into building mode again.
Hmm. So yeah, the main reason why I personally started building my own project is uh, because I lost tons of money
Yep,
and I needed to understand the token mix and everything.
yep,
Um, at the time, I was playing Axie Infinity, as I said, and in the first place, I made a lot of money with it,
yep,
but I held for a long time and I lost tons of money.
yep,
And started wondering like why that happened and started reading white paper more in detail, and that made me realize the problems with the token mix for the blockchain gaming,
yep,
and I thought that was something that I can personally improve, and that's why I started like gathering people like my team members
yep.
in the same industry and even friends in the past, then yeah, just yeah, started because of that.
Nice. How long did it take you to build the first project? And you've done a lot of things that we talked in private about this over the last year.
Mm.
What was the first project that you started building?
The first project we started building was called MetaStrikers, which is the uh, strategic football blockchain
Yep.
game. Uh, it's on web, by the way.
Yep.
And we've launched within 6 months after we started doing that. And
Yep.
within the first month, we've raised from two venture capitals and one angel investor. And after within 3 months, we started the second round and even raised more.
Yep.
And yeah, we've launched like yeah
What
in
when was
six.
this? Was it during was it during the last bull when gaming was going crazy with Animoca and everything, or when did you start raising?
Uh, I wouldn't say it was full. It was quite like cold market.
Yep.
In 2022,
Mm,
in November to December, that was the
yeah.
first
That was
time.
cold.
Yeah. So the
So
valuation was pretty low.
yeah, yeah. So you raised from, was this Japanese VC firms or was it
Um,
Western?
so one is East Venture. They
Okay.
have their headquarter in Singapore, Japan, and also many other countries. And another one is KSK Angel Fund, which
Yep.
is located in America.
Got it. Okay. How much did you raise for those rounds?
Only about no. For the first round, around 300K,
Yep.
and in total, about 1 million. That's it.
Got it. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. So, so what was the team building like? Did you hire initially before raising, or
Uh,
did everything happen at the same time? Because when you're raising, things happen very quickly, right? So how did that
yeah,
work for
yeah.
you?
So I hired some team members
Yep.
before I started raising funds,
Yep.
but those team members were entrepreneurs who already had exits by
Yep.
themselves. So when it comes to the running cost and burn rate,
Yep.
we didn't really have to care much about it
Nice.
in the first place.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so how many people on the team, during the raise and after the raise?
During the race was around five full-time
Yep.
and three part-time.
Got it. Okay.
It's super small team. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That's the best. Like, honestly, I think as a side note, I think that there's a lot of overhiring in projects, and we're talking about crypto here, but in projects in Web3, it's crazy to me that I'd say you could go in and cut at least 50% of staff, and the project would run just as smooth, and probably up to 80% if it's well consolidated and job descriptions are well put together. There's a lot
Yeah.
of especially in the bull market, there's so much money floating that it's like, the leaders and the founders think that they can just hire bodies and hope that something sticks, and so they overhire and then they run out of money. I love lean teams. That's how we operate,
Yeah, I love doing team
the
as well.
best.
And especially like nowadays, it's pretty much like huge risk to hire
Yeah.
new team members, to be honest. Like
Yep.
if it's like sales guys, I would say like it's a good decision to
Yep.
hire team members for sales. But when it comes to like marketing or coding or other departments, uh, AI is, definitely replacing some of works, and
Yep.
even AI agents can do what I would say like 50 to 80% of work already
Yep.
at this moment. But like if
Let's
we
talk about
hire,
AI
yeah,
agents. Yeah, because I
yeah,
know what
sure.
you're doing, what you're building. I'm curious to what's your view on the next few years when it comes to AI agents specifically?
Uh, in a few years, so definitely I would predict the AGI will come.
Yep.
So the artificial intelligence will be way smarter and way efficient than ever before.
Yep.
And it's already happening. If you go to ChatGPT or if you go to Grok 3, we can do the deep research, and it even like gives us like super good review
Yep.
that most people cannot even make.
Yep.
So AI can be already smarter than most of human, and but definitely the problem is that we have right now is the cost of the GPU, and the still AI sometimes uh, AI still makes mistakes sometimes, and if we use AI agents, uh, the hallucination will be a huge problem because we don't want, uh, let's say for marketing, deliver some articles which contain uh, the wrong information.
Yep.
So yeah, decreasing the percentage of hallucination and the by
First of all,
AI.
maybe explain
Yeah.
what is a hallucination for people here.
Okay. Okay. Hallucination is what to put simply. If you ask AI, let's say, can you make some research on, uh, let's say, Binance? Uh, AI might give us the year that Binance was founded, and AI might give us the strategy that Binance took to grow their business. But and it gives us the output as uh, it's true.
Yep.
But sometimes those information might be wrong.
Yep.
So that that like mistake is what we call hallucination. Basically,
Yep.
AI making some mistakes
Yep.
on the output. Yeah.
It used to happen a lot more in the early days of ChatGPT
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
it used to just come up with sources like incredible, like medical studies that never existed. It is much better now, but yes, that's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Right now, I think like Gemini 2.0, like they
Yep.
only make mistakes for 2%
Yep.
uh of the time. So yeah, it significantly improved. And yeah, it's getting way better.
Yeah. Yeah. What coming back to your Web 2 days, like the very first company and on the media side, what made you want to actually start a business first? Like, what was the why start a business? You know, you're a smart guy.
Uh,
You could go into get a good job in a firm and a fund. Why build yourself?
the biggest reason is, so my dad is entrepreneur. So
Yep.
that's probably the biggest reason. And yeah, by seeing him running his own business in
Mm,
Japan, yeah, I started thinking, uh, yeah, one day I will build my own business.
nice.
So like from high school, I already made up my decision to run my own business.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't just an idea that popped up, one day and you were like, okay, I'm gonna build. So
Yeah,
you saw a role model doing it, and you've been around that mindset too.
yeah, yeah,
Very cool.
exactly.
Very cool. In terms of angel investing, so coming back to Web3, what I knew, when we met, you were working on something else in the Web3 space that was pretty substantial on the raising side. So walk us back from the first, so the football game, the strategy game. What happened after that in terms of like raising? Because I know you've invested and raised for many different projects.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so once we've launched MetaStrikers, uh, mainly we were targeting Japanese market,
Yep.
and we made about 3 million in sales within 3 months.
Nice.
So which was going pretty well. Then we listed our governance token to
Yep.
the centralized exchange, which was Bitmark.
Yep.
And after 3 months, we actually got one accent, which is a huge accent. So we got a fraud accent. So at that time, our
Okay.
valuation was around 100 million.
Yep.
But
Market cap of the token.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
FDV.
Yep.
And yeah, one of the listing manager, like fake, turned out to be fake listing manager,
Yep.
approached us, and we made like whole process of due diligence and everything. So it made me like believe that this guy was real, and even the email address that they use to send us the contract
Yep.
was exactly the same as what the exchange had on their website.
Yep.
So we made some due diligence from our side to the listing manager, and we even had a call with them. But yeah, turned out to be the fake listing manager. But when we found out it was too late, we've sent some of our own token to the fake one, and he started selling the market. And unfortunately, we need to close all the trading, and we needed to delist our token from the centralized exchange.
Yep.
And
I
remove the
didn't know this,
liquidity.
by the way. Like I'm learning
Really?
this like
I
everyone
thought I
watching.
told
I
you.
didn't know this still.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we removed all liquidity and compensated for the every single investors
Yep.
who bought our tokens. And yeah, we tried to run the game back after that, but it
Yep.
didn't go quite well. And that's why like we closed about 1 year after the launch.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty much what happened for the MetaStrikers.
You know what's funny is I mean this is actually very common. I mean, you and I both know people in the industry who've had this experience. You know,
Mm.
it's incredible. Like from the outside, you think that, or at least if you're new to the industry, that you can just literally list any token quickly, and the amount of scams on everything. I mean, we've seen. So when we were getting the license for Cyclics Games, which is one of the CoinRock
Yeah.
projects, we had to do due diligence on the law firms, because there's law firms that do exactly that. So because a license can be between $30,000 to $500,000, right? So of course,
Mhm.
scammers create fake websites that look like a replica of the real law firm. So the same story,
Right.
multiple calls, video calls with the lawyers, because yes, when there's transactions of 50, 100, 200, $500,000, there's a lot of scammers too, even in law firms. And we were telling the community when we TG'd last year in April, like, hey, this is going to take about a month for us to make sure that we actually pay the right law firm. And I think people, this is something that you don't really know if you're not in the industry, that there's fake listing
Yeah.
managers. I'm sure if you go to your DMs, you can find at least 50 or 100. If I type in any name of any exchange in my Telegram, I get at least 50 to 100 fake ones, and they everything sounds good. The Telegram account looks good, the website looks good, and actually they were
Yeah.
just scams. Yeah, and large amounts of money, not just money, but the tokens, of course. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. They look so
Okay.
real.
Yes, and they know, and they've done. This is all they do all day. There's thousands of projects that want to be on centralized exchanges. They know that the a listing fee is in a bear market around $50,000 for the lower tier 3 exchanges, all the way up to 7 figures plus tokens.
Mhm.
So the scammers are very incentivized to make sure that they get the money and the tokens, and of course then you see massive red candles, and it's too late. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So Yeah,
Right.
I've heard that from people who are experienced in the industry and who ran a project up to $400-500 million in the last 12 months and got scammed the same way that you did. So it happens to people we even have experience and relationships too.
Mhm.
So it's not an easy space to build in over the long term. So fast forward after that, what happened after that project? Because it despite that, I mean, you built a successful project. You tried to navigate the day to day. What happened after that?
Um, so the good thing that we had at the moment was that we had some sales from the project itself.
Yep.
So we still had some running cost for the company. But still, since we closed our project, but still we have some like investors into our
Yep.
company. We needed to find some other business to run, which has a huge potential.
Yep.
And also we need to make some sales at the time. And the first thing that we started doing was the running the agency, which we
Yep.
don't really do at this moment. Um, at that time, I would say we were one of the biggest gaming projects in Japan.
Yep.
And in Japan, there were not many builders. But as you probably know, Japan is huge in gaming industry
Yep.
all over the world, right? So yeah, they 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 asked me to support their project when it comes to marketing, building tokenomics, and building the game design itself
So
as
these are
well.
Web3 projects coming to you, basically.
Yes, yes.
Nice. Nice.
With traditional Web2
Yep.
gaming companies starting Web3, yeah,
Yep.
games.
Very cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like super fortunate things that we had, and I can't like thank more for them.
Yep.
And yeah, then we were doing that for about 6 months to yeah, around for about 6 months. But um and during that, I was always looking for the opportunity to run the next huge next business with a
Yep.
huge potential. Then that one was AI that
Yep.
we ended up we're like currently developing AI agent for social media.
Yep. Nice. So let's talk about that one. I have some details because we had coffee. Was it 2-3 weeks ago? So I know some of it.
Yeah.
What's the backstory? Meaning, like, what made you want to build an AI, and how is it related to Web3? Is it more of a Web2? Walk us through that.
Um, so it's more focused on Web 2 initially.
Yep.
Um, well, let's start with the synergy of the blockchain and AI in the first place. Um, so currently, what we have for Web 2 mostly, we do have the AI agent, which
Yep.
actually does the work. Let's say you submit your company details and you create the workflow by yourself, and AI will do the work for you for
Yep.
24 hours every single day.
So what
We
type
do
of work
have,
does the agent do in this case?
uh, let's say, let's say in our case, we're making the AI social media manager. So what it
Yep.
does is, if you just ask AI to run some research on social media, it does the research for you. And
Yep.
if you ask it to create images, it creates the image for you and create contents and analyze, manage inbox. And let's say you want to send DMs uh, to the potential users of the side games. You can simply ask AI to list up the user's account, and
Yep.
you can create the DM and you can send all together to the targeted users. So whatever the things that you want to do uh, for the social media management can be done with the AI in our case.
Yep.
But of
So
course,
the AI
for
really is
sales,
like a
yeah.
smart
Oh,
employee that just works nonstop, pretty much.
yeah. And the good thing is that it can keep the brand consistency.
Yeah.
Let's say if you were the content creator, you would probably hire some managers, right? Because you have
Yep.
tons of money. Um, and but the tone of voice and everything is pretty different
Yep.
if your managers send DMs to others or reply to others. But if AI actually create the replies, like the tone of voice will be completely same and the
Yep.
posting format will be same. So like it works in that way as well.
It's the best. I think people don't understand what it means. It's literally like the best employee that is not always perfect because there's no, it does make some mistakes every now and then, of course, but
Yeah.
it will get to a point where it's like the best employee you could ever have, that never sleeps, that just works nonstop, and consistency. Um, I think actually, this is a question for you. What's your, based on this? So a social media manager slash, it's almost like a biz dev role too, right? So it does outbound messaging, outreach too, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
What do
yeah,
you
yeah.
anticipate it's when do you anticipate agents to really fully be able to replace someone? If you put a human being here and you
Uh-huh.
put AI here, when would that be replaced?
Well, that's a really good question, and I wouldn't say the AI will replace human being,
Mm-hmm.
but people who can utilize AI will replace the ones like who don't utilize AI. So
Yep.
I think that that's the right way to express that. And the reason is still by using AI, the human still need to take responsibility and we
Yep.
need to check the outputs.
Yep.
So 80% of job can be, yeah, as I said, can be done with AI, but 20% of job still has to be done by human.
Yep.
But
Very
if
good way of putting it.
80%,
Yep.
yeah, if 80% of job can be done by AI, like of course, the most of entrepreneurs will think that they can decrease the cost spending on salaries or hiring others. So that's why, like, I think, yeah, in that way.
Yep. Yep. No, I agree. Even over the last like 2 years now, teaching our teams, because I still have a portfolio in Web 2 that's of course heavier on copywriters, writers, email marketers, so like e-commerce basically based, information publishing based. Even having our own senior managers and directors being able now to know how to prompt, understand what prompting means, correct ChatGPT, uh, just being able to understand how the machine works, and then be able to have this
Mhm.
output which is flawless after a few prompts, is something that I agree with you. It's we're not at a stage yet where the machine can do everything by itself, like in the movies where it can just run for
Mhm.
weeks and months alone. But the employees or the managers who know how to prompt and push and tweak the request and the input to get the right output, that's where the magic is.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
So building this, how many people are on the team right now on the on so you're basically building a software company based around AI agents
Yeah,
for social media.
yeah, exactly.
How many
Um,
people on the team building it?
uh, for the full time, we have around 10 people right now.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah, but we use tons of AI.
Yeah. I was actually
Yeah.
going to ask you, my next question, follow-up question was, have you used the AI coding solutions?
Oh yeah, we've used Replit, we've
Yep.
used Devin. Devin is more like the AI native AI
Yep.
coder, I would say.
Yep.
And Cursor and what's the last one? Yeah, Bolt.
Yep. I saw a few demos of Cursor. That's I mean, Cursor and I mean, OpenAI does it, but not to the level of Cursor on the code side. What's your favorite one and why?
Um, I personally like Devin more than
Hmm.
everything else because like it's more like humanized AI, I would say.
Yeah,
Within the Slack, we can have the Devin, and if we mention Devin on the Slack and ask it to write some codes, it generates code. So
nice.
it's literally like having AI coder like
In
within the team.
Slack.
Yeah, in Slack.
Nice. I didn't know that actually. Okay, cool. So you can
But
actually
it
interact with
still
your real
makes
team
mistake.
members. You
Yeah,
can ask your team members for, and then you can actually prompt AI to write code to fix something that the
yeah,
human made a mistake or needs something added.
yeah,
Very
exactly.
cool. Very cool. What's the percentage of, let's say, looking at the code base you have now for the entire project or company, what percentage do you estimate it's, so written by AI versus by humans?
Um, to be honest, at this moment, 80% of codes are made by human
Yep.
for us, and
Yep.
only 20%. But we're still like experimenting, like
Yep.
whether we can actually utilize codes. But to check the bugs, to find bugs, the AI of sometimes like plays a great role there.
Yep.
But let's say, well, that's for the AI coding part. Um, but for the, let's say, SEO, if you're
Yep.
familiar with ChatSonic or WriteSonic, which
No, I'm not. ChatSonic. No, there's so many of the. Is that a new like a tool? So many tools popping
yeah,
up.
they have been in the market from 2020.
ChatSonic AMR. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's a ChatGPT AI chatbot. Okay. All right. Yep. Yep.
So basically, what it does is, if we, so it
Oh,
uses the APIs of, yeah, SEO
it
SaaS, and
combines.
so
It combines
yeah,
ChatGPT Claude.
exactly.
Interesting. Okay. Oh,
And
I could see
they
the value of that. All right. So it actually pulls from from Gemini too. Interesting. Yep.
yeah, and the beauty of that one, so it's basically AI SEO manager,
Yep.
uh,
Yep.
and they use the API of the SEO SaaS,
Yep.
and they retrieve all data like trending keyword, the traffic data, and everything. So AI does know uh, the overview of how the market, yeah, it's like
Very
AI
cool.
marketing. Yeah.
Well, that's something I didn't know. So I'm going to send this to the team to have a look at. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah,
I
it's
like the
super
fact,
cool.
because AI has become and becomes very tribal, right? It's like, oh, you Claude or you ChatGPT or you Grok. I think it's going to be, it reminds me of like the early streaming services where it's like you only get one, Netflix or Prime. But I think that eventually everyone will have multiple because they all have
Yeah.
benefits. Um, and like I do think that the more they can connect, in this case, this is I understand this. I can see the value in this being not just dependent on one model. I think this is very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Um, so coming back to building, so more on the SEO. So SEO side, I mean, the SEO side of things is much more robust than the pure coding side on the
Hmm.
done by AI, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. What do you, so is your focus really more on building this, or are you still looking at angel investments, angel investing deals, or are you really focused on building this one?
Um, well, usually when I invest in some companies, it comes from the introduction from others.
Yep.
So yeah, just like in the past, like um, I've never actually been looking for the projects to invest, but it
Yeah, yeah,
was
yeah,
more
yeah.
like, yeah, some of my
Organic.
friends, yeah,
Yeah.
ask me to invest in the project.
Yep.
So yeah, not like intensely looking for the projects to invest, but if
Yep.
we if I found like some good projects there, I would definitely invest.
Nice.
And yeah,
So building
Like
this, yeah, go ahead.
just like for me, like angel investment is not just about like making money or managing my asset. It's more personally for me, it's about like helping my friends and
Mm,
finding the synergy between our company and them.
yep,
For example, if one company has the great products on the market, but they don't have a good marketing team, that
yep,
can be something that we can help them out and which
yep,
can increase the value of that company.
yep.
In that case, yeah, uh, I personally have more probability to invest in that company. So it's not
Nice,
really,
nice.
yeah, all about making money personally
Yep.
for angel investment.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Like personally, for me, it's you spend we humans spend so much time at work that it needs to be enjoyable. I think that the people
Yeah,
you work with or the people you hang out with, even people who work with you and or for you, you actually need to get along with them. Otherwise, it's a miserable life. I mean, you're going to work thousands of hours in your life. You're better off getting people on the team that you, of course, who are competent, but that you actually enjoy interacting with. And so, same thing with acquisitions. It's a very bad life on a day-to-day basis if you hate the people you work with and you talk to
yeah,
every day.
yeah.
So no, cool.
Right.
So coming back to this is a realistically like a Web2 AI business, right? This is not a speculative project. This is a real concrete business. Do you have any goals on integrating Web3 in it, whether it's blockchain,
Mhm.
token, etc.?
Yeah, 100%. So the synergy between blockchain and AI is AI agent. Let's say AI agent. It's
Yep.
personally, it's all about. I think it's all about the payment mechanism.
Yep. Yep.
Um, let's say so AI agent. Let's consider AI agent as the human or employee who actually does the work and who can
Yep.
decide things. Um, in that case, what it will do in the future is they go to some other website and they look for the ones uh, who they think would be a good choice for the certain purpose of their
Yep.
work. Then they decide to spend money for it. And but the current problem that we have is the AI cannot have money by itself.
Yep.
But if we use blockchain, AI can actually have money through the wallet on the blockchain,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it can make the transaction super easily.
So you're looking basically at integrating Web3 and blockchain technology to basically pay the AI
Yeah,
agents.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is it more of a rent model? So you're basically building these agents and then you rent them out to people who pay you a weekly, daily, monthly fee? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that will be one of the way to do things. And another way is every cost will be calculated based on the usage. So
Yep.
if we generate one output through LLM, like ChatGPT or Gemini, it actually costs or consumes some
Yep.
tokens, which basically is money.
Yep.
Um, so based on like how many outputs that users generated by using our AI agents, uh, the cost will be decided.
Yeah, makes sense. In terms of readiness and go-to market, is this, because I know you've been working on this for the last few months. Is this currently in use? Is it in beta? Is it fully public? What's the status and stage now?
Uh, we haven't launched yet at all.
Okay.
So we're still like doing some testing
Yep.
like
Yep. Yep.
within our team members. But we're planning to launch the beta in March though. I
March.
wonder like how long it will take to trying
Y-
to launch in March.
you know what's funny about tech is that you have a deadline and it always fucking moves. It is the most.
Yeah.
It's something that non-tech entrepreneurs will never understand. because
Right.
because in tech, you have one shot, right? I mean, if there's so much competition and building in AI anywhere, right? Whether it's crypto or you have very few opportunities to convince a first-time user.
Hmm.
If they come, they try, something doesn't work, and they try again, and they spend more than 5 minutes and it doesn't work, or they're not happy, the chances statistically of them, I mean, you can find all these studies online, the chances of them coming back to a SaaS, because ultimately, whether it's the AI agent or, for example, we launched Jeetbot a couple weeks ago, and we have a bunch of new features and like a full backend upgrade coming literally in the next few days.
Hmm.
People don't understand that you have to delay things until it is flawless for the user. Otherwise, the user does not come back. You have one shot in software. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. 100% agree. And especially if we're in the newest industries,
Yep.
there is no answer to what we're building
Yeah.
at this
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Web3, AI agent, what kind of
Yeah.
user interface might be the best for users,
Yeah.
how we should create the architecture of the AI agent or
Yeah.
any products in Web3. Well, there is no answer to it at this moment. So we always need to like
No.
try try
Yeah.
build things and refine, try, refine, and
The AI is such a AI is such so I'm older than you. I've seen this several times. So in the late 90s, you weren't even born yet. Uh, there was one
yeah.
of the biggest search engine, one of the main search engines was called Alta Vista. Do you know?
Optimist.
Yeah, so you can actually Google this and you can go to Alta Vista. So, I mean, the website doesn't exist anymore. But if you go to Alta Vista and then you click on images, you'll see what the number one search engine before Google looked like. And so, for the geeks out there who are too young to know what Alta Vista is, have a look at that. And then Alta Vista, I just opened it here. It has had a search bar at the top, big logo that said Alta Vista, the most powerful and useful guide to the net. And on the left, it looked a bit like the top fold of current eBay. So a lot of links, automotive, business, finance, computers. So it had about 40 to 50 links on the first fold, right? Because it was the first search engine. And then when Google came up a few years after that, and they had nothing, just the Google name and the search bar, uh, it's exactly what you just described in the sense that all the other search engines, if you look at Alta Vista Alternative, there were, let's see, there was another one. Uh, First search engines, they all looked alike. Yahoo looked alike. And so my point here is, in new technology, when you're coming out with literally new technology and building, and you're building the first iteration of this, there are no models. You're inventing the model and the industry as you go.
Mhm.
And so one of the main difficulties for ChatGPT and OpenAI, if you I'm sure you've watched a lot about Sam Altman about how they built it. Aggregating the data is one thing, right? Of course, all these AI models, and of course, you need insane amounts of data, but data is useless on its own. The question is, how do you present this to the user so he can actually make use of the data? And thinking of it as a chat conversation, they had to come up with it. I mean, there was no, there hasn't been 10, 20, 30 different companies successful running a ChatGPT model before ChatGPT and OpenAI. So you're literally in these cutting edge industries where you're inventing the industry as you go and trying to figure out what the user might enjoy or not enjoy. And it's very and we see it too in crypto, of course, because you're always on the cutting edge of building these new things and trying to, it's almost like you're betting that you're making the right choice, whether it's on the UX, the color, the the font size, the first 3 steps or the first 3 actions you want the user to take on the platform, but you don't know until you launch the baby. You don't know how the baby behaves. And
Mhm.
so it's not easy building in these new arenas, because you're building with tools that are new. So there's no frame of reference, or very, very little frame of reference. And also, you're trying to make sense for the user so he doesn't get overwhelmed. It's so you're juggling a lot of balls at the same time in these new industries.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What's one of the things that, before starting this particular business in AI, and we'll wrap it up in a few minutes here, that you didn't know until that you've discovered in the last 3 to 6 months building the AI agent company?
Um, I would say traditionally when we build products, the engineers, so this is about like developers, develop like develop the type of developers that I personally always wanted was the one who are super good at coding, even though they didn't know about the industry itself. Um, if they can code super well, uh, hire them. That was like that. But um, but when it comes to building AI agent, the ones who understand the market or industry uh, very well, but who cannot code super well, usually performs better than the developers who doesn't know the market at all or the industry, but can code super well. So, well,
Yep.
let's compare SaaS and AI agent. In SaaS, what we're building was uh, we were making the workflow uh, very efficient, and we were streamlining the workflow itself, but we were not actually doing the work for users. So if we just know the workflow, we could create the product. But
Yep.
when it comes to building AI agent, we actually need to do the work itself, and we
Yep.
need to, yeah, maximize the results for users. So every single process that, let's say in our case, the social media managers make, what kind of perspectives do they have? And those kind of things uh, have to be something that we need to know, and the
Yep.
developers need to know them. So I would say, yeah, that's the like biggest thing that I wish I knew earlier.
So basing hires more on understanding the user and the market, rather than understanding purely code without an
Yeah,
understanding of how it fits into the general product and market.
yeah.
Yeah.
In our case, it would be like the best scenario for us is to hire the developer who run their social media accounts
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
themselves as content creators.
Yeah. They understand the pain of the user, and technology should always be to serve the end user. I
Yeah,
think that's the difficulty working with extremely autistic developers. Who Autism is great. I mean, it's very useful for developers. I mean, many of the top developers that I've had to, throughout all my years, have been very much on the spectrum of autism. But if they're stuck in tunnel vision and only understand code without looking at how the code works for the user on the other side of the screen, it's useless. And and some of them can be very stubborn, and it's very difficult
yeah,
to get them to understand and open up their minds, saying like, yes, your code needs to fit in this thing, this way of how the user will join and then perform these 3 actions. So
yeah,
yeah, I definitely agree on that. Yeah.
100%.
All right. Any closing thoughts? First of all, where can people find you? We tagged you on Twitter. Let me just give the handle here. It's at Kosuke underscore AGOS. So
Well, that's
make sure to follow
actually
Kosuke.
my Japanese account, right?
I know. You gave me the original one.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Give everyone your non-Japanese one.
Um, I just sent in the private chat.
All right, let me have a look here and we'll push this on. All right, very good. It's the same, just with an underscore. So let me put this here. Ah, there you go. Let me share this with everyone here. Okay. There you go. So, any closing thoughts? Anything you'd like people to check out, to follow beyond Twitter? Anything any word of advice for people who are trying to build a business? Because despite your young age, you've done a lot in a few years, and you've done things quickly, without overthinking or being trapped in your own mind and having all these fears that many entrepreneurs and investors have. But you actually executed. So what would be the number one piece of advice for people who are looking to get anything going, building anything?
Well, just like take action and don't be afraid of making mistakes, because those mistakes will definitely lead to like your success. Because personally, I've made tons of mistakes, listing fraud, uh, exit with lower valuation, and even like once I built my first team, I've had like several team members, but most of them quit for the first time. But
Yep.
I've learned a lot from that. So make mistakes when you are young, or as soon as possible, then learn from them and just refine. And if you like keep doing this, I think everything will go well.
Yeah, and you will never stop making mistakes. Whether you're young, old, first company, 20th company, you will always make mistakes. Everyone will make mistakes. It's how it, the I think it was Einstein who said, making a mistake once, like, is okay. Making the same mistake twice is basically
Hmm.
being an idiot.
Right.
So learn from the mistakes quickly. And I do think the biggest separation, the biggest difference between investors or entrepreneurs who, quote, make it versus those who try and just fail, is just being able to learn quickly from the mistakes, because you will make a lot of mistakes. It's not a matter of if you will make mistakes. It's a matter of how quickly you learn from the mistakes you will inevitably make. That's
Yeah.
just how it is when it comes to building.
Right. 100% agree.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll definitely have you back on the show. You and I connect IRL anyway, so we'll connect again soon. Thank you for joining us on the show, everyone. We will have this up on the recordings. We're launching CoinRock Media in the next day or so. So we'll have some of these opinions, some of Kosuke's opinions, as written articles. Thanks, Kosuke, for joining, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys.
Talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you got value from this episode, you're going to love what's coming next. So subscribe now. We drop new episodes and videos several times a week, featuring power players, market movers, and insiders from the financial world. And if you want access to deals and insights we only share privately, hit the links in the description, and we'll see you on the next show.